Hey everybody, in today's video we are going to play as Sweden in Hearts of Iron 4 and try to restore Carolus Empire. So to do this, we're obviously going to go down the Monarchist path. I actually had a poll where you guys voted for me to do the Monarchist path, so that's what we're going to go with, and let's get into it. So, to start off, we are going to do Defense Act, and then we're going to try and go Monarchist as soon as possible, but we do have quite a lot of debuffs, and it's going to take some time to actually get Monarchist support so we can do the focuses to turn us into a full-blown monarchy. So, while we wait to get that Monarchist support to go down the Old Enemy Stirs path, we are going to try and get rid of some of those debuffs. And for our economy, I'm going to focus on civilian economy first, as always, and we'll actually be able to get a pretty big economy pretty early on. Okay, so the reason that I'm taking so long to pick a focus here at the beginning is because this was my first and only attempt at recording this video, and so in the beginning I was just trying to learn the focus tree, so it's taking a lot more time to read what the focuses do, and the gist of the beginning is I'm trying to get down to economic deregulation to try and improve my economy. Then, with economic deregulation finally finished, we can actually start doing some of the Monarchist focuses. So we're going to start off with the Old Enemy Stirs, then Undermine the Fascists, and then we'll just keep going down that. And my main goal with the focuses, what I can do with the focuses, is I want to puppet all of the Scandinavian countries, and then we're going to try to annex Norway and Denmark as quickly as we can in order to avoid a war with Germany. I'm also going to build up my army a little bit because I need a slightly bigger army to actually get all these puppets. So I don't know if the appeal for support decisions that come from the focus are actually worth doing, but in this campaign I decided to, I guess, just be safe, do all of them, and it really costs us quite a lot. Once you become monarchist, you have to, I think within like 2 years or something, you have to appeal to all the groups that you, not appeal, basically do something for all the groups that you appeal to. And what this really means is some debuffs for like 180 days, like 3 or 4 times. And they're pretty bad debuffs. You don't have much political power with these debuffs, which made me really scared whenever I was trying to like annex Norway and Denmark, and I barely had enough political power to even start doing that, and it was already like 1939. I thought I was really going to get declared war on by Germany, and that would have not been good. And also, I don't know if this will change in later patches, since some things with Denmark changed with their monarchist path, but it was pretty easy to puppet both Norway and Denmark, and then Finland, of course, as well. So I don't really have much to say about that, but I will say, puppeting Finland, maybe I should have waited until after the Winter War to puppet them, because I guess the events aren't like fully fixed to the new update. So Finland got a white peace while they were fighting the Soviets, and you'll see that in a minute if it's not already on screen. They got a white peace while fighting the Soviets, because obviously they're not going to beat the Soviet Union. But since I was their overlord, I was still at war with the Soviets, so I had to defend in the north for quite a while against the Soviets. And that was just kind of a pain, because it was not what I was expecting. This early in the campaign, I was expecting to attack when the Germans attacked. So, if you're playing along, maybe just wait until Finland loses to the Soviets before you go ahead and puppet them. So nothing really happens for the first few years of this war. I mean, the expected kind of happens with Finland, like I already said. They get defeated in the Winter War, so they white peace and give the Soviets their claims. And I get naval invaded in the chunk of land that I took from Norway with the focus tree. But they don't really push any further than that, and I'm not able to push back for quite a while. So in the meantime, I annex Norway, and I annex Denmark, and I also get a non-aggression pact with Germany to make sure that they can't declare war on me while I wait to annex Norway and Denmark. So, after a little bit, I do see an opportunity where I can take back the northern parts of my country that I lost. And I'm also kind of forced to do this because we don't have much manpower as Sweden, because Scandinavia is not very populated. So I also didn't have cores on Norway and Denmark because I didn't have full control over that northern state that the Soviets had. So I had to take this back to even get the manpower to defeat the Soviets. So that's kind of a theme just with this campaign in general. Manpower is a huge problem. You just have to use a lot of it for garrisons, and you just generally don't have much of it at all. So even after forming Scandinavia, or the Kingdom of Scandinavia, my manpower problems aren't really solved, and so I kind of get desperate, and I'm just like, well, you know, this worked with the UK, maybe it'll work with the Soviet Union. I do naval invasion of Leningrad, and surprisingly, it actually works, and it works pretty well. So that saves Finland from getting capitulated, and probably saves me from getting capitulated, to be honest. So I thought this was a pretty huge gamble, but it worked out in my situation, and shortly after, the Germans declared war on the Soviets. So after winning in Leningrad, the war has definitely turned in our favor. And yeah, I mean, it's just basically a matter of time, just slowly pushing through the Soviet Union in order to actually capitulate them. And yeah, I got pretty bored while I was playing through all this huge war, but here's a time lapse of that, and I'll see you when this war is over. finally, Soviets fall in like 1945, and we did have to become a temporary member of the Axis in order to defeat the Soviet Union, but it was worth it, and the peace deal was pretty disgusting. Because of course it is, when the AI has enough war participation, they absolutely ruin the peace deal, so there ended up being a fascist Russia that popped out due to me not being able to take a certain state in the peace deal, and then Germany, for some reason, not taking that state or making a puppet. So it just turned into a fascist independent Russia that then for some reason joined the Allies, which doesn't make much sense, but okay. But anyways, after this peace deal, I turned my attention towards Germany because, as you may remember, the whole goal of this video is to restore Carolus Empire. So we're going to have to take some German stuff in order to do that. And Germany actually got pretty weakened through this war with the Soviets, and they were obviously fighting the Allies on the other side. So their air force was tiny, and I had actually built up a decent amount of planes, and so all we had to do was just train like 48 more divisions, and then have our other divisions that were already trained be focused from the east, where there's a much larger border, and then those 48 that were newly trained, I stationed them in southern Denmark, and they just swept through the victory points of Germany. So, yeah, fighting Germany was surprisingly easy, and this also gets us an achievement that I can't remember the name of right now, so I will see you when I remember that after this war. After defeating the Axis, I am finally able to declare Gustav the GREAT of the Swedish Empire. And I also take a buttload of land in Germany and Poland. And I don't know if the borders are that amazing, but I tried my best. We didn't have as much war participation as the Allies since we weren't in the war for that long. So yeah, after doing this, we get an achievement for owning and controlling Danzig, and that achievement is Danzig Queen. And with that, it's the end of the video. So, hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like, maybe have a suggestion, so leave a comment, or just want to show your support, leave a comment. And the best thing you can do to show your support is subscribe. I'll see you all later. Peace.